Welcome to the Identiv Primis and Enterphone Quick Tips video training series. Today we will be reviewing the few easy steps required to set up a Primis cube on your network. Let's get started. Open the box and unpack the Primis cube and its AC-DC power adapter. You will need to supply one Cat5 RJ45 standard network patch cable and a computer with a browser to access the Primis cube. The AC-DC power adapter has a separate AC electrical cable that needs to be plugged into the AC-DC power adapter. Then, plug the 12-volt DC cable into the power receptacle labeled DC on the back of the Primis cube. Plug the AC cable into a 100 to 240 VAC power source. Connect one end of the Cat5 RJ45 network patch cable into the Primis cube network port and the other end into the computer network port that will be used to configure the Primis cube. Press the silver power button on the front of the Primis cube. You should see a blue LED light above the power button illuminate. The Primis cube has a default IP address of 192.168.123.101 as listed on the single-page shipping document included with the Primis cube. We will likely need to change the IP address on the computer accessing the Primis cube to be in the range of the default Primis cube IP address. We will be using a Microsoft Windows computer and IPv4 networking for this demonstration. On the computer, access the network and internet settings. Change adapter options. Right-click on the adapter and select Properties. Select Internet Protocol version 4 and select the Properties button. Change the setting to use the following address to access the Primis cube. For this demonstration, we will use 192.168.123.150 with a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0 and a default gateway of 192.168.123.1. Select the OK button and select the Close button on the Ethernet Properties dialog box. The Primis cube comes completely preloaded with the Primis application, so there is nothing to install. It is ready for logging in and configuration. Open a web browser and type 192.168.123.101 in the browser address bar and press Enter. You are now presented with the Primis cube login page. Enter the default username, Primis, all lowercase, and the default password, Identiv, all lowercase, as indicated on the single-page shipping document included with the Primis cube. Press the Login button. You are now logged into the Primis cube and are ready to begin configuration. Now that we are logged into the Primis cube, we should change the default password for security purposes. But before we do that, we should create a new user. Select System from the top menu bar. Then, from the side menu bar, select Administration, and then Admin Users. Press the Add Admin User button at the bottom of the page. The admin user is not intended to be a Primis user and have controlled area access. The admin user account is only for Primis administration purposes. Creating user accounts with controlled area access will be covered in another Identiv Quick Tip video. Enter a user ID. The user ID is the username that will be used to log into Primis. For this demonstration, we will use Primis2. Enter the last name, first name, and password. You will have to re-enter the password in the Verify Password field to ensure the correct password has been entered. The password must be at least one number, one lowercase letter, one uppercase letter, and at least 6 characters total. Identiv encourages the use of strong passwords. We now should select the permissions for this admin user account. Because this account is set up specifically to ensure accessibility after changing the default account, we will add full access permissions for this account. Permissions may be altered at any time. Select the Save button at the bottom of the page. Select the cube icon at the top right of the menu bar and then select Log Out. Log into the Primis Cube with the new username and password that you just created to verify that it is operational. Select the cube icon at the top right of the menu bar and select Log Out. Now, log into the Primis Cube with the default username, Primis, all lowercase, and the default password, Identiv, also all lowercase, and press the Login button. Select System from the top menu bar, and then from the side menu bar, select Administration, then Admin Users. Select the Primis user by selecting the name Primis in the User ID column. Highlight the entire section next to the password and enter a new password. Highlight the entire section next to Verify Password and re-enter the new password. Remember, the password must be at least one number, one lowercase letter, one uppercase letter, and at least 6 characters. Identiv encourages the use of strong passwords. Select the Save button at the bottom of the screen. Log out of Primis and log into Primis with the default username Primis and the new password just created to verify that it's operational. We are now ready to change the IP address of the Primis Cube so that it can be connected to our local network. Select System from the top menu. Then, from the side menu, select Utilities. Then, select Change IP Address. The Primis Cube supports both static and DHCP IP addressing. For this demonstration, we will configure the Primis Cube with a static IP address scheme, entering IP 192.168.1.205, subnet mask of 255.255.255.0, and a gateway of 192.168.1.1. Name the server 192.168.1.1. Select the Save button and confirm the change by selecting the OK button in the pop-up. The Primis Cube will reboot. This process may take several minutes to complete, so please be patient. Now it's time to change the IP address of the computer used to access the Primis Cube back to the address scheme used for the local or wide area network. On the computer, access the Network and Internet settings, change Adapter Options, right-click on the adapter and select Properties. Select Internet Protocol version 4 and select the Properties button. Change the setting to use the following address and set the IP address in the range to access the Primis Cube. For this demonstration, we will use 192.168.1.150 with a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0 and a gateway of 192.168.1.1. Click OK and then select the Close button of the Ethernet Properties dialog box. Now open a web browser and type 192.168.1.205 in the browser address bar and press Enter. When the Primis Cube login page is displayed, the computer and the Primis Cube are ready to be connected to the desired network. When the connections are complete once again, open a web browser and type 192.168.1.205 in the address bar and press Enter. Enter the username and password and select the Login button. You have now set up a Primis Cube.